Good morning, football fans. Good morning, Joe Morley. We are back for another NFL Mike's live podcast. We're going to be predicting every single one of the week 4 games. At the end of the stream, we're going to be talking about the Chargers, talking about the Raiders. Also, we're going to talk about the MVP race. We're going to talk about every team in today's show. And like I said, pick every single game for week 4. Let me take this banner off. Joe, how you doing today, by the way?
I'm doing great. It's Tuesday, start of a new week. Ready to move on and see what the I can't believe it's already week 4 though. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going by really quick. I'm sure you're ready to move on. Let's just delete this week and move on immediately.
Yeah, that's what happens, right?
Don't ever talk about it again.
Look, I've already told you the NFL has it out for the Raiders, okay?
They have it out for the
This was part of the scheduling that they wanted to happen. They wanted this to happen against the Commanders, right? You know, they gave the Chargers an extra 2 days rest before they played the Raiders.
Yeah.
They gave the Commanders 10 days to play the Raiders on a short week, but it's all right. We'll bounce right back.
Yeah, that was the plan the whole time. It was to have Marcus Mariota get in there and everything.
Yeah, they know the Raiders' records against backup quarterbacks.
It's all coming together. Oh, I want to start off with the Chargers, not the Raiders. We are going to talk about the Raiders. Don't worry. But I want to start off with the Chargers starting 3-0, Joe. And I want to get your reaction. I was obviously at the game in person, and it was a fun one. Chargers win in walk-off fashion, walk-off field goal for Dicker, the kicker. And in my opinion, it should have been a blowout. The Broncos didn't necessarily play amazing. Their D-line was feasting on our injury-filled offensive line. That was kind of the highlight for them. Bo Nix did not have a good game. I don't care what Broncos fans tell me. J.K. Dobbins got loose like twice, and they're saying that he cooked us. He didn't even have – I don't think he had 50 yards rushing. He definitely didn't have 100 yards rushing or 75 yards rushing like they were calling for before the game started. The Chargers made a lot of mistakes, fumbles on kickoffs, all kinds of stuff, drop passes left and right all over the first half. What was your thoughts in the game? Did you catch the highlights? Did you catch the score at least? Do you believe in the Chargers more than the Broncos at least at this point?
Well, it's early in the season, Mike. It's week 3. It's good for the Chargers. Like we talked about this for the Chargers in the offseason, that if they could take the first 3 games, they'll be sitting pretty well, you know, right? Because first 3 games were all divisional games, and to be 3-0 division after week 3 is kind of ridiculous. Like so it's an uphill battle for everybody else right now, even if no matter what happens to the Chargers the rest of the season. So but I thought it was a good turning point for the Broncos, who haven't been playing very good. And the Broncos could have easily came out and laid down after that bad loss to the Indianapolis Colts the week before, right? They could have just easily came out and be like, we're done. Sean Payton had his team fighting, ready to go, and they knew how important this game was, and it was a battle to the end. And like you said, like no matter, like the Chargers kicked the Raiders' butt on Monday night, but it was still a division game on Monday night on prime time. It took a lot out of both teams. So the Chargers probably still were waking up just a little bit at the beginning of that game against the Broncos, but a good finish for them.
Yeah, I mean, the way the sequence of events kind of the way it happened is the Chargers went up 10-0, and Broncos got a field goal, but it just looked like the Chargers were just going to take off. The offense was looking good. The only time we were being stopped was when they were dropping the ball, really. We were running the ball well with Najee and Amari and Hampton. It was going perfect, honestly. I was sitting there feeling really good about it. Bo Nix was struggling. I think he had like 80 yards going into halftime, but then they got a blown coverage, literally 4th and 2, where this could have really blown this game wide open. The Chargers are up and going to get the ball. No. The Broncos got the ball after half. No, the Chargers do get the ball after half. The Chargers were going to be up 13-3, 17-3 at halftime, and be getting the ball back on the Broncos. And on 4th and 2, Sean Payton must have saw something on film. I mean, you call that on 4th and 2 at midfield with basically the game going to be put away if you don't get it. Calls a fade route to Cortland Sutton one-on-one, and we just absolutely blew the coverage. There was no one around him for 10 yards. I could have completed that touchdown pass. So that gave Drew Lock some kind of respectable stat line in this game. You take out that one, Drew Lock, Bo Nix, some kind of respectable stat line in this game. You take out that one pass, he had less than 100 yards passing, Joe. On 24 attempts. We're talking 4 yards an attempt.
Yeah, it don't matter what the stats say. It's what happens on the scoreboard. And if they would have won that game, it don't matter.
To me, isn't Sean Payton famous for like sending Drew Brees out there and throwing it 50 times?
Yeah, but you adjust to win the game. You win the game at any cost that you can. You try to win.
I don't
at
know.
least.
Going into this, the Chargers had the best run defense this season, one of the best run defenses last season, one of the best overall defenses the last couple of years. I don't see the belief in Bo Nix that the fans have in him from his own coach at this point in time. They were feeding RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins like that was their path to victory in this game. And yeah, the Broncos end up getting a fumble off of a kickoff that we literally gift them more points. And we end up down 17-10. But if you take out that little section right there where the Chargers gift them 14 points, the Chargers blew them out in every other facet of the game, every other step of the game. I don't think the Broncos had a great game at all. I would be worried this week if I was the Broncos going against a backup quarterback.
Well, I'm worried. I thought the Broncos defense was going to be a lot better going into the season. I don't know what happened there. But I mean, I think we all were expecting the Broncos to be a little bit better.
Pass rush is really good. The pass rush is really good. But the secondary is an eyesore a little bit. Pat Surtain obviously is Pat Surtain, but the Chargers were able to get some rub routes and able to get Pat Surtain off a lad as well. But Riley Gitmost is not a starting level corner in the NFL, and as long as he is starting out there, no matter who is in the secondary, they're going to pick on him all game.
Well, I don't care. It's the Broncos and the Chargers. If they both would have lost this weekend, it would have been nice.
It would have been perfect for you. I think that I got a lot more faith in the Chargers coming out of this. I don't even know if the Broncos are going to make. I don't think the Broncos are going to make the playoffs at this point in time. After what I've seen so far, I expected the defense to be a little overrated, but still good.
Hey, Bronco fans travel well though, huh?
I expected Bo Nix to struggle, but he should be improving. The fan base wasn't even that crazy either. The Broncos fans had like a section behind the bench, and everyone was like filming that section and be like, oh, look, this is all orange. But then the rest of the stadium was a pretty good mix. Actually, I would say there's way more Chargers fans in the stadium than Broncos fans. And you could hear it when it was third down because they would try and start doing a Let's Go Broncos chant, and the Chargers fans would override the Let's Go Broncos chant. And we were out chanting.
Hey, did the Charger fans actually have Charger gear on? Like that actually the right Los Angeles gear on? Because in Vegas the week before there was a lot of people with Los Angeles shirts, but they were Ram jerseys. They were Ram shirts. Like it didn't say, it just said Los Angeles, but it was like the Rams colors. And I'd be like, hey, what's up with that shirt? And they go, I just bought it. I didn't know. I thought it was the Chargers. My bad.
Yeah, you're just making stuff up now. If you show video evidence of this, I'll believe what you're saying. But I don't even believe what you're saying. You're just making stuff up now just to roast the Chargers fans because you know what's coming. That the Charger fan base is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger the more and more the Chargers win. And you're going to see more players, more fans showing up to support these players every single week. And what's going to happen in Vegas is the exact opposite. Less and less Raiders fans are going to be making the trip. Less and less Raiders fans are going to be showing up to the game. And we're going to get to a point where they're going to play the Broncos in Vegas, the exact same team. And you already know what the crowd's going to look like. So I don't even know why this is a conversation between Raiders fans and Chargers fans.
So Bronco, like Chargers are all excited because last time they went 3-0, it's been 23 years since they gone 3-0. And I told you that what happened, Mike. What happened last time they went 3-0? You were probably like still in your dad's nutsack when that happened. But they finished 8-8, third in the division, and watched the Raiders go to the Super Bowl that year.
And how'd the Raiders do in the Super Bowl that year?
They lost, but it's still Super Bowl.
To who?
Tampa Bay.
Who was their head coach?
John Gruden.
Yeah, I know. It was great. I enjoyed it even though I was in my dad's nutsack. I was in my dad's nutsack cheering, like, go Bucks!
You moved that little pube over and you just looked at
Go Bucks! Go! We got some Chargers fans in the chat, by the way, Joe. Bolt up, baby.
Hey, how is your team undefeated and your team has to throw out 20% discounts to get people to go to the stadium?
I don't even know where you're getting this stuff. You're just making stuff up and saying it into the microphone.
It's all over the place.
I paid $500 for my seats. $500. I checked the seats before the game started. They were all $50 plus still through the entire websites. All of them. The cheap seats. The very top row was still $50.
They have $35 standing room only tickets. What are you talking about?
Standing room only, so you don't get a seat. That's not. You're just reaching, you're stretching, you're doing all this stuff. But you can get in the stadium for $35 because you're jealous that the Raiders will charge full price to go and see a shitty product anyways.
Well,
Jim
I'm pissed
Harbaugh's
off
burners
because
in
the
here.
Raiders got blown out this week and ticket prices went up.
The Raiders, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to keep going up, by the way. Joe's colorblind. Yeah, Joe will switch over eventually. Jim Harbaugh's changing the culture with that Los Angeles Chargers. He's won that every single level. Oh, he's won. We're working on the grammar. Jim Harbaugh going to get this team to the Super Bowl. He is that great of a coach. I bet you wish that they had Jim Harbaugh in Vegas over Pete Carroll right now.
How many championships, how many Super Bowl rings does Harbaugh wear on his finger?
All that matters is the future, Joe, and he's going to win one this year, right? He's going to win one this year.
Because I know Sean Payton got one. I know Pete
So
Carroll has one.
Are you
Andy
saying
Reid
that
has
Sean Payton is a better coach than Jim Harbaugh?
I'm saying they have championship rings.
No. Don't dodge the question. Who would you rather have, Jim Harbaugh or Sean Payton? I won't even put Pete Carroll in here to avoid bias.
Depends on what kind of team I'm trying to run.
I know that the Raiders wanted Jim Harbaugh when he was up for hire. And they were begging him to come.
No, it's just like what people are gonna say. Like the Raiders were begging who's that damn coach of the Ben Johnson. No, they weren't. They're just doing a thorough search.
A thorough search. I like that. But Jim Harbaugh is the king of the West. He just took out Andy Reid, Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, back to back, and kind of made it look easy.
Well, the coach that you were begging for the Chargers to hire is coming to town against the Chargers this week, right?
That's what I was about to say. Brian Daboll pulling the trigger. Breaking news if Chargers fans are watching this or Giants fans are watching this and haven't gotten it yet. Jackson Dart will be coming into the game to make his NFL debut against the Los Angeles Chargers. They are benching Russ after 3 weeks, Joe. Didn't Russ just throw for like 400 yards like last week?
It don't matter. Russ is garbage.
He is.
Russ has been garbage.
I watched a Twitter video where they just kind of showed all of Russ's throws in order on the All-22. It's just embarrassing. Like, what are we doing?
What about when he threw it to the back of the end zone for like 2 times in a row for nothing?
Yeah, that's like Geno Smith throwing it away on 4th down with the game on the line.
See that 63-21 loss? It's kind of like when you win your fantasy football league and you get like the $2,000 or whatever the money it is when you win. And now you're just playing on house money after that. Like that's the Raiders right now. We're playing on house money. We can lose a couple games here and there. We still got a couple points we can give up.
Yeah, because of the 63-point game from 3 years ago now. Like, there's been 3 Chargers Raiders games since that one, and also the Chargers starters didn't even play in that game. But hey, Herbert has 1,020-day streak against the Las Vegas Raiders and counting. And it was great to see Raiders fans comment on a post I posted about that. How Herbert, when he's been in the game, hasn't lost the Raiders in so long, because they're all saying like, oh, but what about the 63-point game? And then I'm able to just tell them, you're so dumb. You don't know football so much that you didn't even watch that game that you're talking trash about.
Oh, I watched that game.
Because then they would know Herbert didn't play, right? If they watched it.
I watched that game with you.
Unfortunately. That was one of the worst days of my life, and I probably will never go to Vegas again because of that day.
That's when Raider fans wanted to go after you, because remember I said you left me in the desert?
Yeah, I do remember that. But yeah, breaking news, Jackson Dart is in, but I still got the Chargers getting after Jackson Dart this weekend. I mean, Derwin James and this secondary, they are fucking with people's heads, and there's like screenshots now of just quarterbacks looking very sad at the end of games versus the Chargers defense that we're starting to put like a little wall together.
No, I don't think there's ever an ideal, like we've talked about it, where Jackson Dart, there was never an ideal place to put him with the, like if you looked at the Giants schedule, it's a horrible schedule to start off. Like their first 7 games were shitty. But we always figured like Russ was going to start at least these couple games and then get to like week 3, week 4. I thought maybe it would be next week, but after seeing Russ last week and Eli Manning basically throwing him under the bus on the on their little show.
Oh no, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was like Russ was done. Like, and Russ was done after week 1. They should have just done it. And anytime that a team goes into a season or they like, and they have like plays or special packages for their backup quarterback, just go with the backup quarterback. Like you're going to make that change eventually. This is, I don't know if this is, I mean, sometimes when you bring in the rookie guy, he brings in that little spark, right? And it's a good home game for him. But I mean, he is going against an undefeated team in the Chargers. So good luck, Jackson Dart. But I like Jackson Dart, and I want to see him succeed, and we'll see what happens.
Brian Daboll probably is looking at it and thinking like, hey, at least they're down Khalil Mack. We'll look at it on the bright side. We're not going against their full pass rush, so get some kind of relief on that side of the line. But the Chargers backups filled in nicely in that Broncos game, and Bo Nix should have had all day and should have had time to complete passes. And the Broncos O-line, again, it's just not what Broncos fans say it is. But Russell Wilson, man, that's probably it for him. Like, I don't know another team that is going to see what happened in Denver, see what's happened everywhere he's gone now, see what happened in Pittsburgh, see what's happened in New York, and be like, yeah, we'll sign up for that again. I think that's it. And I think he falls short. I think he falls short of the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah, if he would have had that second ring, he would have been there for sure.
At least, yeah, the second one. Yeah, when they threw the Pete Carroll. And what was it again? He had Marshawn Lynch, right? Pete Carroll had Marshawn Lynch, just like Ashton Genty. And he just didn't give Marshawn the ball, just like he's not giving Genty the ball. So perfect. Perfect comparison. Anyways, when do you think the Chargers' first loss will be, Joe, from an unbiased fan? You think they got the Giants this week?
Yeah, I mean, you asked me that last night, and I pulled up the Chargers schedule. But let me do it again one more time.
Yeah, I'll just go game for game. I think we got the Giants too. And then it's Washington at home. And I don't know if Jay Nails will be healthy, what's going on, but I like the Chargers right now in that one, especially to run the ball against the Washington defense.
You got the Dolphins.
Dolphins on the road. That's a long trip, but the Dolphins are just absolutely falling apart. We don't even know what team's going to be there by that time, and it's only 3 weeks away. And the Colts, which that'll be a great game here in LA. The Chargers will debut the Sunshine Gold uniform, so I will be there in my Joe Alt jersey for that. I think we got the Colts, though. We'll see what the Colts look like against the Rams. This is going to be a real test for them this week.
Because I had the Chargers going like 12-4 this year.
Yeah,
so
I was very surprised actually.
So there's nothing like shocking, but I mean, it would be crazy if they lost this week, because actually this week is like people might overlook the Giants because they're 0-3, but that defensive line and like you mentioned it too, Burns is pretty damn good. Like that defensive line is good if they can get there, if they can get to Herbert and hit him. And then, like I said, if Jackson Dart could give that little spark. So, I mean, this week, I wouldn't overlook the Giants. I would say it could be a good game, especially after 3 divisional games in a row that you're kind of like, whoo, we got through here. We're 3-0. Sometimes the team gets they overlook opponents, especially traveling a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast. It's never always good. So, I mean, would it surprise me if the Chargers dropped this game to the Chargers this weekend or to the Giants this weekend? No. Do I see it happening? Probably not, but I wouldn't be shocked by it. I wouldn't go, oh, wow, the Giants shocked. But I would say if they can win the next 2 weeks, I would think they drop it to I would think they lose to the Vikings would be their first game. If they remain undefeated, it'd be the Vikings.
That would be 7-0, Joe.
Yeah.
I would love that. I don't know if I've lived through a Charger 7-0 start. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm worried about it a little bit.
I don't think it will happen, but like I think they drop like this week or next week, one of the next 2 games. I think they drop one, but yeah, I'm just saying there's a possibility they could go 7-0. Yes.
Yeah, it's just bad news for the AFC West, who are trying to catch up to us now, the entire division. And you look at the Chargers schedule and you go, well, that was kind of the hard part. Yeah, we got kind of a tough back end here, but that was the hard part of the Chargers schedule. We got through it. Hopefully we can get New York this week. I do worry about the offensive line for the Chargers. We lost Rashawn Slater, obviously, before the season even started. And now his backup, Trey Pipkins, has went down as well. We're hoping that we can get him back. He's dealing with a head injury. Mekhi Becton also went down, who was struggling to get through that Broncos game, fighting his ass off, but didn't make it through the whole entire thing. So if you take out, now we're talking about our backup right tackle to our third string right tackle, we're going to the backup guard, who is Jamari Sawyer, who filled in before, but also struggled before at times in pass pro. That does worry me a little bit, but that's it. The rest of the game, the Chargers should have the advantage, so hopefully they could pull it out. But yeah, even that Minnesota game, that's like when around J.J. McCarthy's going to be coming back. We don't know if it's going to be Carson Wentz or not. Don't know which quarterback we're going to be playing against. I still even like the Chargers there out of what I've seen so far, unless Minnesota continues to figure things out and put up 50 points every single week with Carson Wentz in there. But you're not going to have pick sixes left and right every single week. I'm looking at Philly. I'm looking at KC. I'm looking at Houston, Denver to finish the season. Like, could the Chargers have 1 loss or 0 losses going into December? I mean, it's possible. It's possible. This is an easy schedule.
This is week 3. You're peaking. Your Chargers peaked at the right time. It takes 3 to 4 weeks for the NFL to actually get film and start to really study people and catch up with other teams. So now you'll start seeing teams actually play the Chargers a little bit different with all the film that they have on them. That's the thing. About 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks into the season, you start seeing, okay, now the Chargers are a good team, but now we got all this film. Now how do we play them? And then it only takes one team to figure out like how to attack that team. And then once you get exposed, boom, it's done.
I don't know what they're going to attack, though. That's the thing. Herbert right now is just absolutely cooking every zone coverage, just marching down the field. The Broncos tried it late in the game, and he just easily walked down the field. And then when you blitz him and you heat him up, he went like 9 of 10 for 120 yards or something when pressured.
You're a Charger fan, Mike.
It's
you
like
know what's going to happen.
When he gets pressured, he gets better. He gets more locked in, and he makes more crazy insane plays. I mean, dude, I don't know what you do. What is the adjustment?
Keep people healthy a whole season.
What is the adjustment? What's the grand adjustment? You blitz him more, he's going to cook you more. Don't blitz him more. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. That's like blitzing Brady or Mahomes more and saying that's going to help.
Well, that's what, like when people used to blitz Mahomes all the time. Just sit back, let him make.
I mean, you saw that Raider game. They were literally letting Max Crosby have a free rush against Trey Pipkins because they knew Herbert could juke him out the entire game. They're letting him rush at Herbert, and then Herbert just makes him miss every single time. Max Crosby had 0 sacks, but he got in Herbert's face 5, 6, 7 times.
Max Crosby has 0 sacks already on the season. So it's not
on the season?
I think so. I believe so.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the Chargers.
No, I think he got one week 1. My bad. He got one week 1.
I think the Chargers can go undefeated, Joe. You think the Chargers are going to go 12-4. So let's meet in the middle. 14 wins for the Chargers this year. Lock it in. We'll see what happens with the Chargers, though. Let's move on to the Raiders, because what I want you to do, Joe, with how the season has started, for one, they're not 0-3, but trying to look at the bright side for Raiders fans here. I'm going to be super negative, but you were someone that had the Raiders going, 17-0 and winning the Super Bowl to start the season. Do you still feel like they're on that path?
I mean, I had them at 7-10, but okay, close enough. Close enough. No, I mean, I think what upsets the Raider fans the most, and I don't. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I think what upsets me the most over the first couple of weeks is the Charger game. Like, I expected them to be not win the games, like maybe not sitting here 3-0, but if sitting at 1-2 is what I kind of had them in my mind, anyways. But I had them being more competitive, like hanging in these games. Like, the Charger game sucked. It was a division game. Okay, cool. We weren't there with the Chargers. But going into Washington, backup quarterback, Mariota, backup running back, basically, the rookie in there, they weren't starting him because they had Austin Eckler, who was good in pass pro. So I was like, okay, they were mismatching their offensive line. Their offensive line wasn't doing good. Their defense is fucking old and tired, and the Raiders just got their butts kicked by one of the oldest teams in the NFL, and with a backup quarterback, and just got annihilated. When there were so many mismatches the Raiders could have took advantage of, and they just can't block. They couldn't block anybody, and it was like, it was just horrible. Like, it's not like when you're getting met in the backfield, like you're trying to drop back and you're taking 2 steps back and you already got a guy on you, like, and you want to go, Geno Smith sucks. Like, no, your offensive line sucks. And I don't know what the Raiders are doing. What Pete Carroll, like, you got to trust the process. I hate saying that because we have to trust the process 20,000 times, right? But like, what is Pete Carroll doing with JPJ? Like, he was the best center in college football when you drafted him. The Raiders tried to move him to guard when Antonio Pierce was there, then realized he was better to put him back at center. Then he finished off the season well, and then they were like, let's put him at guard. And then, no, let's not even start him like this week. Like, what the?
He didn't start?
No, so he didn't play week 2 against the Chargers because he had a concussion protocol. Then he got out of concussion protocol. He was ready to go. He was good to go at the game. They just didn't play him. They just didn't play him at all because they said, well, it was a short week. We just didn't want to put that. Then that means you don't like him. Then that means you like.
This is literally like supposed to be the captain of the O-line. This is the guy that greeted Ashton Genty when he came into the facility. Hey man, I'm your center, bro.
Well, and I've asked like people, and I've tried to get questions like, hey, what's going on with JPJ? And all I've been told is they don't see eye to eye. I go, who? The coaching staff and JPJ? Like, I don't give a damn if you don't see eye to eye with the player. If he's the best player and better at that position, he should be starting at the position.
I don't even know what that means.
So
I don't see eye to eye. So there isn't a silver lining to look at. I mean, the defense is playing well. The secondary is playing well. Is something going well?
The defense was playing good until last week. And like, that's the thing, Mike. Last week killed all momentum that we had because
this is why I picked the Commanders. I picked the Commanders because I was like, this is not a good matchup for them in a sense that Mariota literally he knows the defense so well. He knows the style.
Yeah, but you would think that Chip Kelly would know Mariota, right?
That's true, right?
But Chip Kelly, all three aspects of the game, the Raiders, the first kickoff of the game, Deebo Samuel took it 80 yards. You know,
I saw that.
They got their ass kicked on special teams. They got their ass kicked on defense and offense. Like there was nothing to like. You can't take the only thing you go, hey, Troy Tucker looked good, but that was one of the mismatches that you should have had all day. Like that's what I said. That defense is so old, they shouldn't be able to stop that speed. Like if Geno would have had time, and when he did have time, he found Trey Tucker for 8 catches, 130 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Like he was open the whole game, but he just had to find him.
I mean, it all just goes back to their drafts the last couple of years. Honestly, me and you don't need to even say it anymore at this point to each other, but to those that have been listening for a short time, not a long time, we've been saying for years that the Raiders should draft an offensive tackle in the first round. And the only time that they actually did it was when they drafted Alex Leatherwood, which is like the only time you wouldn't have wanted them to draft an offensive tackle in the first round in that spot.
No, you wanted them to, but you didn't want Alex Leatherwood. You wanted Darrisaw, who's become a great pro.
You picked the right one, and then you
went 3 picks later or something like that.
You would be sitting pretty, and then you can move Colton Miller over to right tackle, and you would have a great left tackle there. It's the difference between what Harbaugh did immediately and what Pete Carroll did immediately. Harbaugh had the chance. He could have taken Malik Neighbors with his first draft pick and went flashy and went with the outside receiver, but no, he took Joe Alt. And if we did not have Joe Alt today, the Chargers would be garbage. We would not be able to block anyone. Wouldn't be able to block a high school team without Joe Alt out there. So thank goodness.
Well, because the Chargers at that time really needed wide receiver. Malik Neighbors was sitting there. They could have used a tight end with Brock Bowers. And like it was like, okay, add these weapons to go with Justin Herbert. And then they said, no, we already have a tackle, but we're going to take another tackle to bookend and protect our quarterback. And you know what? People might have laughed at it at the time, but when you actually look back, there's 60, 20, 70 years, 100 years of how to build correct football teams, and it starts with the trenches.
Yeah, and you can't win without the O-line. You definitely will lose.
And you know more than anybody else, Mike, because we talk on a daily basis of how bad I've been just killed by Raider Nation on the last 2. I love Brock Bowers. I don't have a problem with Brock Bowers, but we had every defensive – like I wanted Byron Murphy that year, remember?
Yeah, he's balling out.
Defensive tackle. I wanted him from Texas. You know who's tearing it up for Seattle right now?
Killing it.
Murphy.
Yeah.
This year, I was like, hey, we didn't get our defensive tackle. I would like Mason Graham. Mason Graham went number 4. Hey, you know who tore up Green Bay last week? Mason Graham. Like that's the reason. One of the reasons the Browns were in that game and won that game. And so I was like, okay, screw it. Let's go offensive line. If we're not going to get, and then they went Ashton Genty, which. These are great players, just they're players that you add when you're already competitive and ready to go. And like you can't, like people are like, oh, we had the shittiest running game last year, so we added a running back. So was it all the running back's fault? No,
clearly not.
I mean, I wish it would work out, and that's how it works. You could just add a game player and work a game excellent elite player, but it don't work like that. You got to build the trenches.
And the craziest part of it all is that Ashton Genty, when he gets space, he actually does look good. As an unbiased take here, when you watch him and he gets that block, he isn't getting hit until he gets 3 or 4 yards down the field. He breaks 3 tackles and extends the play 5 yards. So he's doing what you expect him to do, but he's getting hit, like you're saying, at the line of scrimmage or even a yard back every play.
I think he has more yards after contact than he actually has yards or something like that. It's crazy.
That is a bad stat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I don't understand the people that are going Ashton Genty's a bust. He's not a bust. He's just on a fucking bad offense. He has there's pictures going around. It was just Ashton Genty there, and then the Washington defense. That was it. That was the whole team. It was Genty. And they don't. And here's the thing: Chip Kelly doesn't even throw a screen pass or do anything to help that offensive line out. You know how bad your offensive line is. Why aren't you doing some quick timing plays or something? Do something to help them out.
That's the layers of shit low football that start to make teams get really bad. They go from bad, struggling, can compete, can be there, be around 500 to top 5 picks. So I think that the Chip Kelly element of all of this, the struggles with Chip Kelly doing the play calling, is going to lead you to being in the position to draft a tackle again, Joe. So you can look at the bright side, that as the only silver lining, maybe.
And like I told Raider fans, and somebody said in the comments, Joe, are you a fan of Mimbu? Yes, I was. I was a fan of Connerly. He went later on to Washington, who actually had a pretty good game against the Raiders, and Max Crosby this week. Anybody. My thing was, we didn't have the team to take and the luxury to take a running back at number 6 overall. We did. Me personally, I would have rather took somebody else, Mimbu, and then Henderson in the second round would have been perfect, or trade up and get something But who am I? I'm just some fan.
Just some fan. It always makes me crazy almost. I drive myself insane when I look back at the drafts and I just go, that guy, love them. Why do I hit it? And then the GMs just absolutely miss.
That's what somebody always asks. They're like, how do fans that watch the game and the fans go, we want this, and the GMs go a totally different way, and then it ends up the fans were actually right, sometimes.
Yeah. And then there's just some players that it's so obvious. A good example of this that I always think back to is Treylon Burks and the hype on him. In the pre-draft process, it's just everyone's trying to say this guy's the next Deebo Samuel, but Deebo Samuel's a next kind of level of special. And you could see it when you watch him play. Treylon Burks never had that. Even fully healthy, he was never going to have that. Trading A.J. Brown for Treylon Burks straight up is just stupid. Stupid GMing. Yeah. And we all called it out the day it happened. Every single fan on the entire internet. And every single fan on the entire internet was right. And that Titans GM was fucking wrong.
Well, same thing with Johnny Manziel. Everybody kind of figured Johnny Manziel wasn't going to translate to the NFL. Yeah. And then they were still first round, let's go. It's
yeah, that one was even more. I was hoping the Cowboys.
It almost happened this year, though, Mike. Everybody was doing the same thing with Shedeur Sanders, and then it just dropped. It almost happened again.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so silver lining for the Raiders is that I don't know. They're going to get a higher draft pick. That's a silver lining at the end of the day.
I mean, they're 1 and 2. I expected them to go 7 and 10, so they're still on course to do what I expected. We just want to see. I just want to see a little bit of competitiveness and hang in some of these games and stop getting not the blowout games like they were last week.
Would you trade anyone to help the rebuild or keep the team, keep the stars?
I would trade it. Somebody asked me the other day in my message, they were like, "Would you trade Max Crosby?" I go, "I would have traded Max Crosby last offseason."
Yeah, because getting to the point where no matter what, Crosby can't do anything about it to help win more games at this point.
Yeah,
he can't.
And at one point his value is going to drop. But that's just the way I am. If I throw Max Crosby out there and you're offering me 2 first-round picks, I'm kind of right there. You know what I mean? I'm looking
at this point in your rebuild. Yeah. At this point in your rebuild, you want to do it. If you have a great team, you want to keep them.
Yeah. But if you're looking, that's what I don't know. They said they were going to rebuild, but they didn't expect Christian Wilkins to be out either. They expected him to play this year. A lot of drama that always goes in the Raiders season.
Yeah, that's also another thing that happened right before the season even started. So it's not even you had time to make a switch or anything like that. We'll see what happens with the Raiders, Joe. I'll move us on here to the Pickems challenge, but good luck, Raiders fans. It's going to be a rebuilding year, as I predicted. Apparently, Joe predicted too. I know that I was on the show with you when you predicted it, but I just remember you saying 17-0 and then winning the Super Bowl. That's all I remember. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm always gonna say that.
Well, let's move on to the Mike's Pickems challenge. I'm gonna cut the MVP segment for time. I know this is gonna be lengthy. We got an interesting week this week. I think when I was looking at the games, there's a lot of really fun games, and then there's a lot of games that
you were gonna say Justin Herbert anyway, so it don't matter.
Well, I was just gonna say, what's the race look like right now? And when you go and look at it, it's like Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, and I know people don't want to hear me talk about that all night and all day. We already talked about Justin Herbert being an MVP candidate at the beginning of the show. So if you're just tuning in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can rewind.
More Charger talk.
Like,
me personally, Mike, I was gonna throw out Jonathan Taylor. So I don't want a quarterback taking it this year, but there you go. Let's get into the Pickems.
Did he just have 3 touchdowns last week?
Yeah.
J-Tay.
I think he has like 60 carries for like 330 yards on the season.
I put him at the 5th ranked running back, and people were calling me crazy on my live stream last night. I was like, what?
He's almost averaging 6 yards a carry.
He's balling out. And he always balls out as long as he's healthy. That's what he does. He's healthy, yeah. He's a really good player. All right, let's move on to the Mike's Pick'ems Challenge, Joe. Get your picks. Give people a sneak peek at my picks. I'll be posting my picks on TikTok and YouTube later. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you can be here every single time. I think there's a lot of games this week that could be on upset alert. I think there's also a lot of games this week that could be way lower scoring. I know you sent me a stat before the show started, or I think it was last night, talking about how the week was a really high-scoring week last week. I think we're going to go opposite going into this week.
No, the whole season.
The whole season as a whole has been higher scoring, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's the stat I sent you last night. It says, so as a season, the NFL game points per game is 46.3 this year, and last year was 41.5. So it's 11% higher per game this year.
2 points per game is a lot, by the way, y'all. I mean, think about that over
5.
48 games total.
It's 5.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
But does that have to do with the new kickoff rule too? Like that,
it could. I was saying, like, the Deebo Samuel thing is a great example that you start putting star players like that back there that are really hard to tackle. You could use that advantage big time, and you don't even have to do it at the beginning of the season. Wait until like week 9, then bring out some kind of weird package where you have a surprise kick returner like Saquon runs out there out of nowhere. Good luck.
I mean, I wouldn't go Saquon, but yeah.
Good luck. The problem is with this kickoff, and I noticed it with the XFL too, is that the defenders, I mean, they want this so that way that the big hits don't happen anymore. The defenders are standing still trying to tackle Deebo Samuel running full speed, and that is almost, for one person to do, impossible. And I know I made the joke that I could tackle Deebo Samuel. I could not tackle Deebo Samuel, let alone if I had any chance to tackle him, I would need to be moving full speed towards his direction so that way the force meets force and we balance each other out. If Deebo's going full speed and you're trying to fight a block off, Deebo's just going to run right through everybody. And there's certain players in this league like that teams could use, and Jonathan Taylor's a great example, one of them, that all you got to do is break one tackle and it's a 40-yard return every single return for an entire game. I'm pulling that out in the first round of playoffs. I'm pulling that out the bag if it comes down to it, and my team needs it to go to the playoffs. But let's get started talking about these games here. The first game is Thursday night, and they're giving us a treat for Thursday Night Football this week, Joe. We're getting the Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Arizona Cardinals, and I say a lot of these games are going to be low scoring. We're going to start off with this one. I think the Seattle defense is starting to earn my trust. They got a bunch of guys balling out, and it seems like all these guys that were youngsters trying to figure it out the last couple of years have figured it out and figured out Mike McDonald's system all at the same time. Like Ernest Jones is balling out in the middle. They have multiple corners breaking out wide. Kobe Bryant's already starting off his year very well. Tariq Woolen, Witherspoon's obviously in these secondaries and causing issues. Leonard Williams is having a quiet start to the year, but he's still on this defense in the middle. And like you said, I think Brian Murphy is on track right now to have 15 sacks, which will be quite a jump up. Let's talk about the Seahawks Cardinals game here. Which way you leaning?
I'm probably going to go with Seattle. I hate taking the road team, but what's up with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Like, come on, man. Like, really? And then, like, last week he dropped a wide open pass that would have been like 40, 50 yards, if not a touchdown. Just right through his hands, Mike. I don't know if you were probably watching the Charger game at that time. But
I saw the highlights. Yeah, I saw the highlights. And the thing is before the game, I was saying too in my take for the Cardinals game is that they just need to get the ball to Marvin Harrison down the field. Like literally called it, and and he drops it.
And they lost James Conner now for the season. So,
I
mean, I like Trey Benson. I think we all like Trey Benson. We've been waiting for it to happen, but we didn't want it to happen like that. Like, it sucks to see that. And hey, Seattle has a new weapon on offense, right? With Horton showing up. So with JSN, they got Cooper Kupp, and now that third wide receiver, like their offense looks like they're starting to click a little bit. They just need to get their running game going a little bit better. And I think Seattle takes this game.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks too. Another thing that really worries me about the Cardinals offense, other than, them having talent everywhere and just not putting up points on the board week after week, it seems like against the Saints especially, they let their foot off the gas a lot. And then in that game against the Panthers like crawled back in there. So I don't know. And then the 49ers game, you lose to Mac Jones with no George Kittle. It's like playing a little bit of like a Walmart version of the 49ers. That's not the full 49ers team you're going to face later on in the season. My confidence, my hype, everything that I had around the Cardinals this year, they're kind of opposites. The Seahawks are a team that I was low on, and I thought they weren't going to bring it together around Sam Darnold, and they are coming together, and the youth is all hitting its stride and prime at the same time under their head coach. And the Cardinals were the team that I thought would, and they aren't. They're the youth that are not clicking and not putting it all together and not playing consistent football game in, game out. I'm with you. I'm taking the Seahawks as well. So go Hawks this week. I have them 24-14. Also that Torrey Horton story. Shout out to Torrey Horton. It's a good story to follow. Enjoying watching him play. His journey kind of like started on the main stage, cooking up Deion's defense and at Colorado State. You see any of those games?
No.
There was some Colorado State versus the Buffs when they slashed and all them on the team, and Travis Hunter and all them. They're just electric games. You get a chance to go and watch the highlights. And Horton is like the star player on the Colorado State Rams that are trying to take down the overhyped Colorado team at the time. And I think they end up beating them, like a huge upset or something like that. That's where I first saw Torrey Horton going crazy in that game. Next game. This is another interesting one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are actually coming into this game as 3.5-point underdogs. That is what the odds makers think of the Bucs without Mike Evans, possibly without Emeka Egbuka again. I would have taken the Bucs if they're fully healthy in this game, because I still feel like the Rams should have beaten the Eagles, and a lot of fuck shit happened. You can call it mistakes on the Rams' part, and then also help from the refs. You bundle it all together. It still happened. I still watched it. And the Eagles struggled for the entire first half versus a team, the Rams, that are very similar to the Bucs. I think the Bucs could have gotten after them in a similar way, but Mike Evans is out. I do think it will be a close game still. I don't have the Bucs covering. I have Philadelphia winning, but any chance for the Bucs here, Joe? Or you got the hot take of taking them?
I'm not going that crazy, but I'll take the Eagles this week. I think the Eagles, something happened in the Eagles in that second half that woke them up, because their offense was horrible for the first 2.5 games. When you got AJ Brown getting involved, like it's gonna be unstoppable. So I think the Eagles have finally woke up on offense, and I think this could get ugly.
Yeah, those first 2 quarters, the Rams D-line was feasting. They were just absolutely wrecking Jalen Hurts. But yeah, once he just started throwing it up to A.J. Brown, they started to get it going more. A.J. Brown did push off for a touchdown, though. I will say that. Then they say, but Devontae Adams also pushed off, so it was a makeup call.
Yeah, everybody pushed off.
Yeah, it's a makeup call, as they call it in basketball and baseball. You don't usually get makeup calls in football as much, but hey, makeup call. That's what we're gonna say. So we both have the Eagles. Next, Saints on the road in Buffalo. The Saints are going into this as 16-point underdogs. That is absolutely insane. But it's becoming more and more clear every single day, every single game, that Brandon Staley at head coach and Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, didn't work for the Chargers with all this talent that Jim Harbaugh immediately flipped into an 11-win team. I don't think it's going to work in New Orleans with the Saints reverse, where Moore is the head coach and Staley is the defensive coordinator. I saw a quote from Staley, actually, that he was saying, like, at least the defense is trying. Like, I see the effort out there. Like, I like what I see from these guys. And it's like, trying? What are we talking about here? The Saints are the worst team in football, and they're going to lose big here to the Bills.
Yeah, it's no surprise that the Saints are the worst team in football, and I think everybody saw that coming in. There's a reason why Kellen Moore got that job and got it late, is because nobody else wanted that job. Nobody nobody in their right mind was going to go down there and take that job. Especially the way that they build their teams and push contracts farther and farther, and they're always in salary cap hell. The Saints just need to this should have been the season they did this, trash all their bad salaries, got rid of it, just lost every game and went back for it. And until they get a quarterback, they need a quarterback too. Like Derek Carr kind of quit on them, right? And then they thought they had Spencer Rattler, and then they drafted the guy in the second round or whatever. Like, it's not going to work out well. Like, yeah. They should have just took this year to do a complete rebuild. The only bad thing about not doing that is you thought you could. I don't know why they thought they could compete, but you didn't want to do that, so you brought Kellen Moore in, and now you're just pushing it back another year because you're going to suck another year.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're going to give Kellen Moore like multiple years to try and build a team, or just go for the hottest coach coming up again and just reset it there.
I think they give him a couple of years. The Saints have never been that like they gave Dennis Allen multiple years, right? It seems like they're pretty set on their ways of.
If Kellen Moore is there, I think that they'll definitely be a team that's going quarterback in the first round, maybe first overall pick. We'll see. I think we're going to see a few teams racing.
I mean, Mickey Loomis is a respected GM, but I think he's the one that needs to go. Like, to be honest, like I think they need some new blood in there.
Fresh start. So you got Bills easily winning too.
Yeah. Coming off a Thursday night to play the worst team in the league, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a little bit of a break. You're riding high as well, 3-0. Browns on the road in Detroit. This one's an interesting one. The Lions have 8-point spread to cover for those that are betting on this game, but we're just picking straight up here. But Browns, defensive line, can they get after Josh Allen? Can they slow Josh Allen down on all these scrambles and runs that he takes off and does, and then also keep a lid on James Cook at the same time? Wait.
You're mixing it up.
I got it mixed up. They're going against the Detroit Lions offense. The Bills are going against the Saints. Stupid. Can the Browns defensive line slow the Lions offense, who just dropped 50 points and then 38 points on the Ravens? I'll just let you take it here, Joe. Browns or Lions?
They just put 200 yards rushing on the Baltimore Ravens defense, and that's crazy. Baltimore went from having one of the best run defenses to the worst this year. It's ridiculous of what's happening, but I don't know. Detroit dropped that first game to Green Bay, right? It looked like they were like done, and then last week the Browns just beat Green Bay, and it's like, what the circle of the NFL of how teams lose and beat each other is like ridiculous. But I like what we saw from Detroit last night. I think it was a great step in the direction. Like, Detroit was on a grass field in an AFC West AFC opponent field, and normally when they come out of the dome, they don't do that good. They came out and they dominated the Ravens last night. I thought it was great to show that the Detroit Lions are still there, because there was a lot of question marks about this Lion team going into the season with all their coordinators that they lost, all the stuff that was going on in that building. And then week one, they just looked like crap, but I think they got it rolling now. They're starting to figure some stuff out. I think the Cleveland Browns are better than we expected, but that offense of the Browns isn't going to put up enough points for me to be scared of them. So I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think the Browns can slow them down, but even a great defense right now against an offense this hot, they seem unstoppable. Literally, they scored 90 points the last 2 weeks combined. I don't even see a great defense holding them to less than like 24, 28, 25 points. And the Browns offense is not doing good to start the year off. So I don't see them putting up a ton of points in this game either. I got 31-16 Lions.
Yeah, you just got to put up 17 points and you win.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. You don't have to score a bunch of points against the Browns this year. It seems like at least. Joe Flacco could just come out of nowhere, like you're saying, and go for 400 yards, though, still, at any moment.
Yeah.
Anytime now. And it would be the Lions to just out of nowhere just fall off the face of the earth after playing Lamar Jackson so well, by the way. That was one of the best, I don't know. Lamar was trying everything he possibly could, and he still couldn't make it fully happen. Like, to sack him 7 times, first of all, is almost impossible. If he had no offensive line, no one blocking for him, it would be hard to sack him 7 times.
Well, didn't I send you a thing like it was the first game that a team has gotten 7+ sacks and not given up a sack?
Really?
It was something like that.
Some crazy stats. Lions looking good, though. So I got Lions over Browns, too. Let's go Tennessee.
Yeah, so it was the fourth time ever in NFL history the Ravens allowed 7 sacks and got 0 sacks in the same game. It's fourth time in NFL history.
Yeah. And like I said, it's impossible to sack Lamar Jackson already. It's
I don't know if it's NFL history or Ravens history. I don't know. Whatever. But it's fourth time.
Another interesting one is the Tennessee Titans, 0-3, going on the road to Houston, 0-3. And I thought both these teams would start the year off a little bit better, at least be 1-2. I had the Texans winning this division when we were doing our division predictions. But, man, it has not gone well for the Texans' offense. I don't know what's going on with C.J. Stroud, but he looks timid for one. He looks like he's a little bit shy to step up into the pocket and step into his throws. And then on top of it all, I hate to say it because this is not good to see. He's telegraphing everything. I'm watching it thinking I could get interceptions out there, and the Jaguars DBs are just jumping all over him. And they could have had a bunch of picks in this game last week, and they didn't. The Jaguars weren't any better, honestly. The Jaguars were just as sloppy as the Texans and pulled out the win. I'm scared for the Texans, man. What's going to fix it? I don't know what to do other than C.J. Stroud just straight up shaking whatever it is off.
Yeah, it's just like they have so many weapons and they're not finding them. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, the defense is still playing.
But yeah, to me, I want to take the Texans. Like I think I took the Texans last week too, and I'm like, at some point they got to turn it over, and they're just not. Like I don't know what's going on. I'm not taking the Texans this week either. I'll take the Tennessee Titans for their first win.
I had a hard time with this one. I thought about taking the Titans, but the Titans have let me down in a similar fashion. At least like the Titans didn't have any expectations from people, so the letdown wasn't so high. The Texans have broken my heart, and you're making me want to switch to the Titans, but I'm going to stick with the Texans to win this off of defense alone. Just go get the rookie quarterback and get a pick six or get a pick that puts you in really good field position to get a touchdown. And I had the Texans winning it 17-13. But I don't have any confidence in Houston and their offense as a whole at this point. They got to get the ground game going, and C.J. Stroud has got to figure it out. What is it?
This could be a 6-3 game, or it could be a 63-61 game. Like
there's no defense. Well, that's the one when you start getting defensive touchdowns and stuff. We can see that Cam Ward threw a pick six on his first play last week. So he just dropped back there straight to the defense. First play of the game.
Well, I don't know how many defensive touchdowns were this week, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah. We should have put some of these guys on fantasy teams. Let's move on to the Chargers on the road in New York here. We've already talked about the Chargers and the Giants game earlier on in the show. Like I said earlier, I do worry that the Giants defensive line is going to get after kind of our bandaged together offensive line. But hey, the depth made do on the fly last week against a ferocious pass rush. The Denver Broncos were coming at us. There's some highlights in there that you probably will see on Twitter at some point. Any of my Chargers fans out there, where you just watch it and you're just like, holy shit, we got demolished on that one play at 3 different spots. But then on other plays, they held up fine, and Herbert was able to make do and move around and get the ball out and down the field, especially in the clutch. When the game was on the line and the Broncos knew we were passing, I feel like the O-line held it together very well. And there's just something about Herbert. It's like when he gets hit a few times, like wakes him up. He's got like that. He's got that Brett Favre-esque to him that's just like, I need to get smacked in. Am I still here?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so once he gets hit, it's almost like the pressure elevates him to another level. I would like to call an absolute Chargers blowout, but like I said, without Najee, without Khalil Mack, without some of our offensive linemen, the Giants do put up a fight in this game. Jackson Dart coming in and giving a little bit of spark as a rusher out of the backfield will be something that the Chargers have to deal with. I got them winning 27-17 still, though, Joe. Are you picking the Giants?
No, I'm not going to take the Giants, but I told you that like I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants did win this game. Just because like the Chargers coming high off of a 3-0, 3 division games, it could be one that they kind of like overlook, seeing a rookie quarterback going, "Oh, we got this," and the Giants could get that little spark. So, but I'll take the Chargers in this one.
Yeah, Chargers got to stay focused. They're a better team. They should win this game. You just can't make big mistakes like fumbling kickoffs and these awfully timed drops at times. We gotta get our heads on straight here for this game. Big shout out to Oronde Gadsden. Big game in his NFL debut. Expecting him to be out there against the Giants this week. I don't know who the fuck's gonna cover him, but good luck. Washington on the road in Atlanta. This is one that's really hard. Yeah, this is one that's really hard to call because I don't know what the fuck is going to happen or what Falcons team is going to come to this game. Michael Penix, man, what an ugly performance. I mean, this year has not been great for him already, but that game was peak trash. I mean, Kirk Cousins could have done better.
Yeah, and it was funny because our other co-host Tony Tucker had just told us, like, I believe in the Falcons defense. And I was like, yeah, that's what everybody says. And then all of a sudden, like, he had me kind of believing, like, oh, Falcons defense is going to be good. And then what the hell? Like, you got spanked. And I asked you yesterday, I go, why does it take Carolina? 2 years in a row now, it took Carolina 2 weeks to go 0-2 and then finally wake themselves up. I don't know what's going on there. But, oh, man, that's and then we saw what Washington did to the Raiders last week. They were clicking on all aspects without Jaden Daniels.
But the Falcons seem like the better team on paper if Marcus Mariota is in there. That's the thing. It's just like, what is going on with the quarterback?
Yes, the Falcons should win this game. The Falcons should win this game, and that's like I'm saying, like
they're underdogs at home.
And once you see like this should be a Bijan Robinson game. Like he should just dominate this game.
Yeah.
Because once you see Michael, I think once you actually break down the Washington defense and actually see how old they are, like that would like it would piss you off, like to see like how good they were, like compared to the Raiders, like just how old they are. Like, but you know what?
Next week, so I'm happy to hear that.
You know what? I'm taking the Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons on a bounce back. I don't know why. I'm just doing it.
I'm sticking with the Commanders. I think I'll take Marcus Mariota to stay hot. He went in there and did well against the Raiders, and it also could be back-to-back revenge weeks for Marcus Mariota. First he gets the Raiders, then he gets the Falcons. He's like, yeah. And then Jaden Daniels goes back in. But Jaden Daniels, if he's ready for this game, I really, really will be believing in the Commanders. So we're different on this one too. Which one was the other one we were different on? Oh, yeah, you had Tennessee. There we go. 2 different picks. Here's one I want your opinion on. Mac Jones revenge game on his old team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 49ers are hosting the Jags. I got something to say about the Jaguars. I'm taking the Niners in this game. I don't have much faith in the Jaguars, period. Even with Mac Jones, I'm probably going to take the Niners. There's a chance Brock Purdy does play in this, but I would hold him one more week if I was the 49ers just to be safe. What's your thoughts on this Jaguars-Niners game? Because I do think that I don't know. There's a chance it could go either way, and it could get ugly for either team.
Well, isn't Mac Jones kind of hurt too?
He's banged up, yes.
So it's like it's all of them. Like you only have Christian McCaffrey that's crazy. Christian McCaffrey's your only healthy guy. That's the win. But the defense has been playing good. They just lost Boza for the season.
For the season, I didn't know that.
Yeah, ACL, right?
Oh no. Yeah,
so Boza's out for the season. So that's a tough loss for the
yikes
49ers. Just can't stay healthy. The Niners can't stay healthy, but the good thing is they've been able to pull wins off, and they finally got a kicker, right? They got a kicker in there that can make them a point. So, I don't trust Jacksonville. I don't
either.
You know what? I'm going with Jacksonville. I don't trust them, but I'm going with them.
I don't trust them either. There's some plays where T-Law looks like he's coming into his own. There it is right there. The T-Law, the generational talent we all thought he was. And there's some plays. Now, what are we in his 4th or his 5th year at this point?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, is that a rookie out there? What is going on? Who is he throwing to? And on top of that, he's stumbling and mumbling around trying to extend plays way too much like he's Lamar Jackson. He just doesn't have that ability. He's going to get wrecked. He gets wrecked every season doing this. Get down on the ground or throw the ball away. What are we doing trying to hold on to the ball? It's literally Joe Burrow-like stuff, but you give Joe Burrow the pass because of what he does. Trevor Lawrence doesn't do all that Joe Burrow stuff that would earn the pass. And then when he gets the ball down the field, Brian Thomas Jr. has butter all over his gloves or something. Someone don't give him the same gloves next week. That's back-to-back weeks with ugly drops all over the field.
And you want to talk about busts?
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to ask next. Where is Travis Hunter? 10 catches for 76 yards in 3 games is what, the third overall pick that they traded up for?
And he's playing defense and getting burned on defense.
Yeah, I already knew it was going to be tough on defense. I was hoping that on defense they would use him at slot corner in select spots on select matchups, but he cannot just go out wide and cover wide receiver ones at his size right now. He needs to put on size. Me and you have talked about this so many times, like Emmanuel Forbes all over again. You can't play corner in the NFL and be the size of a normal human. You need to still have some size on you. You need to be a wide receiver size person because these wide receivers like A.J. Brown don't mind just running straight through you at the line of scrimmage at all.
Yeah.
They don't. But yeah, Travis Hunter has been absent and struggling in his first couple of games. And then on top of it all, like the highlight of the team so far for the Jaguars, and they're 2-1. That's another highlight. They're doing good. The highlight for the Jaguars has been Travis Etienne Jr., right? Who they had on the trade block and wasn't going to be the star running back of the team. Like they were moving on to Tanks Bigsby and Tootin and these guys. And now Travis Etienne is their only offensive link at this point. So I don't get what's going on in Jacksonville. I will say, though, the Jaguars' defense looks good. Their secondary is getting better other than the Travis Hunter issue. And then their pass rush, especially the front seven, seems like it's starting to hit. The Chargers play 6 teams that we play are in the bottom 10 power rankings this week. Hey, shout out to Twanner. Welcome to the channel. Kirk Cousins is the better QB. Might need to save some jobs this year. There's a bunch of teams that could use Kirk Cousins right now really bad. And Kirk Cousins isn't even that great anymore. Travis Hunter, route running needs a lot of development. Maybe that's what it is. He's not getting open. They're not getting him like gadget plays. Nothing crazy is happening there. It's been Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know. It seems like they should have kept Christian Kirk and maybe drafted another defender, or maybe they should have been a team that invested in the O-line and just stayed where they were in the draft. All right, next game here, Joe. This game would probably be the game of the week last week, but after seeing the start to the season, the Ravens take another L. I'm going to put the Ravens and Chiefs game outside. I'm going to put the Rams-Colts game as my game of the week this week, but let's talk about the Ravens-Chiefs game. I want to know what you think about this one. It just seems like the Baltimore offense is still very, very, very hard to stop with a trash O-line. They still seem like they can't be stopped unless they fumble or they throw a dumb pass, or just everything goes wrong that you can possibly think going wrong on 4th and 1 for the Ravens instead of just having Derrick Henry get the first down easily. Something goes haywire. Lamar rolls right, does a backflip, does a spin. It's just the Ravens are shooting themselves in the foot, and they need to simplify things.
Well, what I sent you that they're the first team to have the most points scored, like 111 points or something like that, and have a losing record in 3 games.
Makes no sense. Yeah, their defense is struggling. It's just, well, why don't we just line up and let's just play some football? Because man for man, there's very few teams in the league that man for man, when you look at the roster down the list, can stack up to the Ravens.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? We're overthinking. We got to be.
I think the Ravens will be okay. I'm going to take the Ravens in this game and to win this game because I think both teams are kind of beat up. The Chiefs are getting back to their normal, but they're not the same Chiefs that they were. I think this is a good game that Baltimore can come in here and just dominate with their offense.
Yeah, and the Chiefs O-line, they'll probably get better and better as the year goes on because they do that, and they have a youngster starting at left. I don't know, man. I'm seeing Mahomes running for his life a lot. And if they lose anyone or if it does not improve, here's another game where the Ravens defense should get after them because man for man, it doesn't make any sense that they're giving up 40 points every single freaking week. I'll give you the pass versus the Lions, but come on. We need to score 40 again, Ravens, and we need to slow this Chiefs offense down. 41-20 Ravens. Come on.
Yeah, and you're seeing the Ravens use a lot more weapons, which is different from the past couple of years.
Bateman.
Bateman.
Yeah, Bateman's getting involved. D-Hop's out there. Mark Andrews down the field. Kolar. Oh, I think Isaiah Likely will be back for this game too, which would be great. All right, Joe. The moment everyone's been waiting for. The clickbait of the evening. Will NFL Mike take the Raiders or the Bears? I'm taking the Bears. The question is can Caleb play like he did this last week? I know it's not the Cowboys defense, and that is crazy that I'm sitting here, Joe, looking into the camera and saying into this microphone that the Raiders defense is better than the Cowboys defense today. That's how bad the Cowboys defense is.
Yeah. Well, the Cowboys, like, we all knew the Cowboys are bad, and then especially when CD Lamb went down, it was like they're done. Like,
yeah, and we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about
like
them.
I took the Bears to beat the Cowboys last week. Now, is it surprising to see how bad like the Bears were the week one? Now that where they are now, Caleb Williams is tied for the league in touchdowns. Rome Odunze has come out of nowhere, right? He has 4 touchdowns on the season. That's your leading receiving a touchdown receiver this year. So something is happening where Gase is getting to go, or Gase, I call him Adam Gase. Ben Johnson is getting it going with that team. And remember, there was a lot of Raider fans that wanted Ben Johnson. I wasn't one of them, but there was a lot of Raider fans that felt like it. Tom Brady made the phone call. Ben Johnson was never going to interview with the Raiders. He didn't want to come to the Raiders. That was not his thing. But some Raider fans think that they had a chance, and so this could be one of those revenge games. But this is the Raiders. Like, Pete Carroll has to grab the Raiders by the face mask and tell them, like, wake the hell up. Like, if you want to show that you actually have something, like, you're sitting at 1-2, 8th in the conference, and you can still bounce back. This is a game you have to win. Like, this is the game the Raiders have to go out there and prove that they have it and they could compete. But I mean, this is a good young Bears team coming in here too. I mean, their defense is pretty good. And I mean, like you said, it showed that the Raiders don't have an offensive line. I'm not going to pick against my team this week, though. I'll pick the Raiders this week, and if they lose this week, I'll pick them to lose every game the rest of the rest.
Yeah, you're not that far gone yet that you're ready to pick against them.
But
yeah. I think that Ben Johnson will have a good game plan going into this. The Bears defense is playing well enough for me to have some faith in them. So yeah, I'm going Bears 35, Raiders 17. But you know me, I don't really pick the Raiders very often. Although every time I doubt the Raiders, I'm always right. So
yeah,
keep it going. Just keep it going. Sunday Night Football might be a snoozer because I think this could get ugly. It will be entertaining in a sense. Is how many sacks is Micah going to try and get on Dak before the end of the game? I don't know, man. They lost Dan Quinn, right? The defense got worse. Then you lose Mike McCarthy. The whole team got a little bit worse. Then you lose Micah Parsons, and now it just seems like it's unplayable, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You gave up 20 to Philly. You gave up 37 and 450 to Russ, who's now benched and basically out of the league with that benching. Bears got right versus the Dallas defense. Caleb got 304 touchdowns or something like that. And now they lose CD. Tyler Booker's going to be out for more than a month, probably. I mean, this game is going to get ugly. I think it's going to get ugly in a hurry. And like I said, Micah and the Packers D-line are going to be setting Micah up too. They're going to be running stunts for him. They're going to be running screens for him. They're going to be setting him up to get as many sacks as he possibly can and have him pointing ones at the sky when the Packers are up by 20 points in the freaking second or third quarter.
Yeah, Dallas has no shot in this game. No, absolutely no shot. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be nasty, and everybody's going to be like, Green Bay won the trade because of how bad it is. But in reality, Green Bay, we all knew Dallas was, even if they had Micah Parsons, Dallas was going to lose this game.
That's probably why they traded him, because they knew what was coming here this year.
Even if Micah Parsons was on the team, Dallas wasn't winning close to 10 games this year.
Yeah. And another team that seems like they have no chance in some of these games, they did keep up in that Patriots game, but the Finns are on full brink of collapse. They do get a break, Monday Night Football, so you get a little bit of an extended weekend, and then you're playing the Jets. But I'm still taking the Jets, man. I think at least the Jets are fighting in the games that I've seen them play. At least they're trying their asses off to try and get these wins. It seems like the Dolphins are just slowly giving up on their coach, slowly giving up on the season, and we're only in week 3. If you guys need to trade A-Chain anywhere, the Chargers happen to have just lost their veteran running back that they had planned to run alongside our rookie running back. So just trade A-Chain to the Chargers, and everything will be great.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Miami. I mean, they hung with Buffalo last week. That was a good thing, right?
Kinda.
New York celebrated Aaron Glenn celebrated a little bit too early. I don't know if you saw his little dance. Yeah. But New York, even with Tyrod Taylor, looked all right. Looked like a competitive team. Like they're doing their thing.
Well, the first 2.5 quarters were terrible. They were not good, but they did make that comeback, and then the Bucks just straight. I think they actually got a kick blocked, so that way that the Jets could end up returning it or something like that to make that a game. But yeah, the Jets, they fought, like you're saying. They tried their hardest. The Dolphins, there's times where you're watching them run routes and you're watching them play, and we don't know Jalen Waddle's status either, and they aren't trying.
Yeah, and Tua being Tua at the end of the game, right? He just throws a pick. I'll go with the Jets. It's a tough one, but I'll go with the Jets.
I'm going with the Jets. Jets as well. I didn't have a score for this one, but Jets all the way. I'm a big Jets fan, in case you guys don't know. All right, last Monday Night Football game, and we'll get to my game of the week. And I have 2 upsets this week. But game of the week, or no, Monday Night Football before the game of the week. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the road in Denver, and man, I want to take the Bengals. I really do. And I think that there is a little bit of an upset alert on this game, but the Bengals O-line is it's going to get cooked by this Broncos defensive line, and Jake Browning under pressure does not sound like a good recipe for me. And it wasn't a good recipe against the Vikings. I knew that they were going to lose to the Vikings because, like, going against Brian Flores with a week to prepare, that's a tough task to ask for. I think that they'll find a little bit more success the Bengals will, but it still won't be pretty. And I got the Broncos winning 21-10.
Yeah, I got the Broncos winning, and the only thing good about the Bengals this week is they're going to show Jake Browning's girlfriend 100 times because she loves the attention in the camera.
What the hell? Who's his girlfriend? Is she some kind of celebrity or something?
No, she's just some girl that likes to dress a certain way when she's on the camera. You'll see.
Okay, well, can't wait to see it. Monday Night Football, it'll be there. I hope, though. I'm rooting for the Bengals with all my heart. That would be so funny if Bo Nix lost to Jake Browning. My narrative would be pushed to the moon. Indianapolis on the road in Los Angeles. The Rams, 3.5-point favorites against the undefeated Colts coming to LA. This is my game of the week. I would have said Chiefs Ravens, but those 2 teams don't want to carry their weight, then we'll put it on these 2 teams who are carrying their weight. I think the Rams are actually favorites because Vegas watched the same game that I did and know that they should be 3-0, and they should have beaten Philly comfortably if things don't start to absolutely go south and the refs literally start hoeing my guy Pookie. They were absolutely screwing Puka Nacua over for the entire 3rd and 4th quarter of that game every time they got a chance to because he was that unstoppable. I do love the way India started the season. I think this will be an absolute electric game. I have it 38-31. But the Rams, this D-line is going to get in Daniel Jones' face. We've seen D-lines get in Daniel Jones' face. He comes down to earth a little bit more. Even though the Colts line is playing stellar football so far, I am going to take the Rams to win it in a great game, 38-20 or 31 Rams over the Colts. Who you got, Joe?
Well, and the Colts finally punted last week, right? Their first punt of the season, first and only punt of the season came last week against in that game. So the Colts are looking good. They got to run the ball. I think the Rams are beatable. I think the Colts defense has showed a little bit. The Rams are going to be pissed off coming off a game they should have had. They had a big win. I actually picked the Rams to beat the Eagles last week, and that backfired on me at the end. But how much do I believe in Danny Dimes, Mike? Like that's what we're asking ourselves, right? Like we got to
ask ourselves a few times in our lives, and the answer has always been,
you know what? I'm taking the Colts.
Okay.
Taking the Colts.
There we go. We're different on that one too. We got a bunch of different games this week. That's why I knew it was a good week for picks, Joe, because there's just a lot of games that are really hard to call and could go either way. Here comes to my upsets of the week. My first one, the Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. I don't get that at all. I think the Panthers will at least cover. I don't know how they're super favorites in this game. After what we saw from Carolina last week, they're clicking on all cylinders. I mean, special teams made plays, defense made plays, offense made plays. I know I'm not the biggest Panthers believer, not the biggest Bryce Young believer. I do think the game will be closer, but I'm going with the team with the hotter QB, the hotter defense. The Patriots look sloppy. They look like it's going to take a full couple games, maybe even a full season to get their feet under the new Mike Vrabel Patriots. It doesn't look like a Mike Vrabel team at all to start the season. I'm going to take the Panthers 20-13. I do worry about the Patriots defense. They're playing well, but
what took forever to get Henderson on the field? Why did it take 2.5 games to start feeding him?
My worry is that I don't know, he's not as good in between the tackles yet as Ramondre Stevenson is, and Mike Vrabel knows that's where we're going a lot. But Stevenson, and I was a Stevenson fan, bro, you're done, dude. That is embarrassing. He had 2 fumbles in this game, last game, and both of them are like in the worst moment. And this is a problem he's had for multiple years. How is it's not getting any better? It's getting worse.
Yeah, because the Patriots should have had that win.
Well, they put Henderson in there, and I think he averaged. They put Henderson in there. I think he averaged like 2 yards per carry or something. Like he can't get it going between the tackles. He's electric when you get him in space.
I'm gonna take New England in this game. Somebody's telling me to take them, so I'll take New England. Even though, like you said, it's weird because Carolina had that great game last week, but it was also a division game, and
they do that.
Kind of look at,
very inconsistent team. The Panthers are. And then my other upset of the week, the real upset of the week, the Minnesota Vikings are going on the road to Pittsburgh, and the Steelers are underdogs in this game. And can you explain it to me? Like, what? This is bulletin board material for Mike Tomlin to be underdogs to fucking Carson Wentz at home.
It's the Minnesota defense. I think that's what, and it's not like the Steelers offense has been that good, right? It's like when the Steelers traded George Pickens, I questioned like who was going to be their second guy, and they have DK Metcalf and nobody else has stepped up yet. I know they want Jonnu Smith to be the guy too, like the second tight end or whatever. But I haven't been really impressed with Aaron Rodgers' play. Like sometimes he looks good, and you're like, okay, the Aaron Rodgers is back. Sometimes he looks like crap. So I think there's a lot of question marks with that offense, and the Steelers defense hasn't been as dominant. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think the Vikings installed like the way the Vikings played last week, especially their defense. Like you're just looking at them like, okay, that defense can carry them, and all they got to do is. And they get Jordan Addison back this week. So they add another weapon to their offense. So, I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings over the Steelers.
I think if anyone's going to have the answers to Brian Flores, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers hasn't been playing like prime Rodgers, but we've seen flashes of it. We've seen him take over one game at least to get the Steelers to this record that they're playing right now. And the defense played a lot better last week. It looked a lot closer to normal. I think they forced 4 turnovers as well. Carson Wentz, kind of known to be a little sloppy with the football when things start to break down. I don't know. I just feel like Steelers are going to come out really motivated this week and are going to win this game. I got 2017 Steelers, but I actually feel like it's going to be more. I feel like it's going to be 27-17, 27-14 Steelers. I could be completely wrong, though, Joe. This is the upset of the week for a reason. I was wrong last week. I'm 2-1 on the upsets this week. I picked the Titans.
So like you said, a lot of games that can go either way this week, and we'll start to figure out who are pretenders and who are contenders.
I think it is a really good betting week. If you guys want to check out the sponsor of the channel, MyBookie, the link is in the description. You can go and check it out, put your bets in. I just think it's a great betting week because there's a lot of games that could go either way. Like you're saying, you can put together some really good parlays with good odds that will help you bonus out even more. Dan is asking for Caleb Johnson to get some snaps. It's about time. It's about time. Nuts and bolts. I think that's Tony Tucker. Tony Tucker, we miss you. We love you. We can't wait to see you next week. But that's our picks for every single game of week 4. We also talked about some other stuff in the show. So if you're just tuning in, please rewind and go check it out. We talked about the Chargers, talk about the Raiders. Go and check out those conversations. Joe, you got anything else to say to the people before we go?
Go Raiders.
That wasn't very enthusiastic. Usually you're a little bit more excited.
Yeah, that's about it.
I was like a go Raiders. Yeah, go Raiders.
We'll see how this week goes so I can gain it back a little bit.
We definitely will. Make sure you guys like the stream or like the video if you're watching the replay of this. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Help me share this out with more football fans. If you're a football fan, I love the channel. We upload daily NFL content. All right, what will happen for week 4 of the NFL season? I'm not going to New York. No. No.
Oh, were you supposed to go to New York?
No. I'm not a big fan of traveling to big cities. You know this, Joe. I'm more of a small town kind of guy. But anyways, what will happen this week? I guess sooner or later.